Have you ever felt like you don't belong? Maybe you've stood in a crowded hallway and felt invisible, or watched a group laugh and asked yourself how to cross that invisible line. Peer networks in adolescence are more than gossip, cliques, or popularity contests. They are a force that shapes who you become. What feels like a moment of struggle, a hesitant step toward a group, a day spent alone in the cafeteria, can turn out to be a turning point for long-term growth. Understanding why peer influence matters helps us see those moments not as failures, but as opportunities for connection, resilience, and change. Imagine a classroom mid-morning. Chairs scrape, pens pause over notebooks. Someone asks a question, and a few hands go up. Around you, small conversations form like constellations. Math homework, weekend plans, a joke passed from one person to another. These conversations are more than background noise. During adolescence, peers become a primary source of feedback, identity, and emotional regulation. Think about Anna, a student who avoided the math club because she didn't feel mathy. In friendly small groups and with patient mentorship, she tried a single problem set, found that her idea mattered, and slowly built confidence. She went from observer to participant, and eventually to a leader. That change didn't happen because of a single lecture. It happened through repeated supportive peer interactions. At first, her contributions were small. One comment, one question, one shared idea. But each time her peers listened and responded with encouragement, her confidence strengthened. Research on adolescent peer networks shows that teens are especially sensitive to social feedback, and even small moments of validation can reshape how they see themselves. Over time, Anna stopped saying, "I'm just not a math person," and started saying, "I'm getting better at this." That shift in identity mattered more than any single assignment. As education researcher Sean Kelly explains, structured peer networks can influence not only academic performance but also how young people understand their own abilities. Anna didn't just improve her math skills, she developed a sense of belonging, and that belonging changed everything. She went from observer to participant, and eventually to a leader. That change didn't happen because of a single lecture. It happened through repeated supportive peer interactions. Adolescence is a time of intense social searching. You're learning who you are and how you fit into the world. That search can be thrilling, but it can also be lonely. Nearly 4 in 10 teens report feeling isolated. Picture a cafeteria. A student sits alone, tray in front of them, scrolling through their phone with a small, hollow smile. Nearby, a group laughs at an inside joke, unaware of the distance they're creating. The fear of exclusion pushes people to act in ways that feel safe, but aren't always authentic. Some teens widen their social circle with shallow ties, acquaintances who offer the illusion of belonging without support. Others become socially competent on the surface, good conversationalists, popular at events, but lack deep, trusting relationships. Sean Kelly points out that it's often those who seem socially fine who are at higher risk. They perform social rituals well, but don't feel seen. Over time, that gap between outward confidence and inner disconnection can quietly erode well-being and make it harder to ask for genuine support. That hesitation you've seen, the student stepping closer to a group and then turning away, captures something universal. It's a tiny moment, but it carries the weight of identity questions. Will I be accepted? Am I good enough? The answers, or lack of them, influence mental health. Prolonged isolation correlates with higher levels of anxiety, depression, and a dampening of motivation. Left unchecked, these patterns can ripple into adulthood. Now imagine the same hallway but with a different mood. A small cluster of students gathers around a poster for a community science fair. One person's enthusiasm attracts another, then another. Someone who is hesitant overhears a compliment about an experimental idea. That sequence, the noticing, the invitation, the welcomed contribution, is the heart of positive peer influence. Peers can validate emotional experiences, provide academic help, and model healthy behavior. When a friend says, "I struggled with that too," it's not just sympathy, it's a signal that you're not alone. Those signals change how the brain interprets risk and reward. Adolescents who are embedded in supportive groups show higher academic performance, better emotional regulation, and are more likely to take on leadership roles. That matters because leadership and confidence tend to compound. A successful group project breeds a sense of efficacy that invites more engagement. Not all influence is equal. A pat on the back after a presentation is different from peer pressure to skip a study session. Emotional support, listening without judgment, showing up for tough moments has a long-term impact. Academic guidance creates durable skills. Social encouragement builds belonging. What makes belonging feel so powerful isn't only social poetry, it's biology. When you feel accepted by a group, the brain's reward circuits light up. Dopamine, the neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and motivation, responds to social connection. Neuroscience also shows that social learning is efficient. You watch peers, you mimic patterns that bring positive outcomes, and you internalize new habits. That explains how peer networks can improve academic performance by modeling collaborative study routines and creating a culture where learning is valued. Belonging also stabilizes identity formation. Adolescence is a laboratory of self-exploration. You try labels, roles, and behaviors. A supportive group provides a mirror that reflects back not just who you are now, but who you might become. It's important to remember the mirror can also distort. The same mechanisms that power positive growth can also steer someone off course. Negative peer influence is rarely a dramatic single event. It's often a sequence of small decisions nudged by the desire to belong. Think of a student who's never used substances but finds themselves in a group where drinking is the default. Bullying and subtle exclusion also follow social learning patterns. When a few influential group members model mean behavior and it goes unchallenged, others may join in to secure status. For the person targeted, the effects are immediate and corrosive. Rising anxiety, withdrawal from activities, lowered academic motivation. Recognizing harmful influence early matters. Adults and peers who spot shifts in mood, declining grades, or sudden changes in social circles can intervene before patterns harden. Interventions that focus on restoring connection, mentorship, peer mediation, structured group activities help reverse the slide. So how do positive peer networks form? They don't just appear. They're intentionally cultivated by people and systems that value inclusion. The turning point often involves a supportive adult, a program that fosters teamwork, or a structured opportunity for meaningful contribution. Picture a counselor's office bathed in soft light. A teen talks about feeling invisible, and a counselor acknowledges that experience without judgment. That simple validation is powerful. From there, small steps matter. Team-based projects with clear roles let each student play to their strengths. Mentorship pairs can provide one-on-one encouragement. Clubs focused on shared interests, coding, art, debate, offer repeated, low-stakes chances to connect over common goals. Programs that teach communication skills, empathy, and conflict resolution equip teens to sustain relationships. If students practice active listening, giving and receiving feedback, and expressing appreciation, those habits shift group norms. It's also important to distribute leadership so the group becomes more inclusive and resilient. When everything comes together, supportive adults, intentional programs, and peers who lift each other up, the effects are noticeable. You'll see students start clubs, organize volunteer drives, and lead study groups. They mentor younger students, run workshops, and become role models in their own right. Positive peer networks act like accelerants for growth. Teens in these networks report higher self-esteem, more stable emotional health, and better academic outcomes. They're also more likely to take healthy risks, try a new role, audition, or apply for a scholarship, because their peers provide safety and encouragement. Importantly, these networks don't erase diversity or conflict. Healthy groups include differences of opinion and backgrounds. They allow for mistakes and repair. When a group can disagree respectfully, apologize, and move forward, it models adult social functioning in a way that classrooms alone rarely do. So how do we bring this into practice? Think of several practical moves that help build lasting positive peer networks. Create repeated opportunities for meaningful collaboration. Short interactions don't stick. Projects that span weeks give people time to connect and trust each other. Train adults to notice social dynamics. Teachers, coaches, and counselors, who can spot isolation or harmful norms, can intervene early. Build structures for distributed leadership. Rotate roles in clubs and projects so different students have the chance to lead. Teach social skills explicitly. Active listening, perspective taking, and constructive feedback are not innate for everyone. They're skills that can be learned and practiced. Support mentorship programs. Pair older students with younger ones so experience, guidance, and belonging flow in both directions. Promote inclusive practices. Ensure that clubs and activities are accessible. Consider transportation, fees, and timing so students aren't excluded by logistics. These moves are not silver bullets, but they create conditions where belonging can grow. They turn accidental interactions into purposeful networks that support identity, learning, and well-being. Peer networks are not a phase to endure. They are part of a developmental engine. When adolescents find supportive groups, they gain more than friends. They gain mirrors, mentors, and motivators. When groups go wrong, the same systems that help can be guided back to health with timely support. If you're watching as a parent, educator, or teen, remember this. Small, consistent actions matter. A single invitation, a patient conversation, or a structured activity can make the difference between isolation and belonging. These moments stack over time into the peer networks that shape futures. The power of peer networks is both simple and profound. People shape people. Adolescence is when those shapes take on lasting contours. Your role, whether as a peer, parent, teacher, or mentor, is to notice, invite, and support. Help someone take that hesitant step toward a group. For those curious to explore these ideas further, you can find related recordings in our playlist or on this channel. Subscribing allows you to continue following this educational journey, and your comments or likes help guide future content. Thank you for learning with us today, and we look forward to sharing more insights in the next video.